Hey, love, welcome to My One Beautiful Life. My name is Monet Farcole, and I'm a life strategist and healing coach for women over 40 navigating life's toughest transitions. This is my first video in a series that I'm doing on all the different types of loss that we may experience in our lives that we grieve. And we're starting today with divorce. So, if you're going through or have gone through a divorce, I want you to hear this from my heart to yours. You're not crazy, you're not weak, and you're definitely not alone. I've been there and I've come out on the other side, and I'm just here to show you how to make that walk yourself. So, divorce is not just a legal ending, it's often a soul level loss. And today we're going to talk about what that really means and how to begin healing your heart. Because a lot of times we go to our brains when we are suffering with a loss. We overanalyze and we intellectualize this loss, but it's really, grieving is about our hearts. So I'm coming to you today with more heart centered approach, a more heart centered way of dealing with and healing from loss. So let's get started. So, divorce is one of the most misunderstood types of grief. People often think, well, at least they're still living, right? You can move on now, but they're so wrong. And we're often given advice to just replace the loss, find a new love, get over the last one, and, to just be able to get over that pain. But it's just not that easy. What they don't see is it's so much deeper than that. For some of us, this is the death of a dream, the dream of a life that we looked at a person and decided we wanted to spend the rest of our lives with them. It's the loss of shared routines, the unraveling of our identities as a partner, a lover, a friend, and it's the silence. It's the silence where good morning, good night, I love you, where all of that used to be. So, divorce is a living loss. You're grieving someone who still lives, but who no longer holds the same role in your life. And that's a unique kind of pain. It's the pain of adjusting to a new life you didn't plan, a future you now have to build on your own. And on top of all of that, there's often shame, guilt, or the belief that you failed in some way, or even worse, that you should be over it by now. And that you just need to get on with it and get on with the business of divorce. But there is the heart side of divorce. So, what people don't understand and what they don't acknowledge is that grief after divorce is valid. Your emotions are valid, whether they're anger, sadness, fear, fatigue, the many different emotions that we might feel after divorce. They're all okay. And your timeline is yours alone. You get to decide how long you need to heal your heart. So, what you might not realize is that you're not just grieving the person, you're grieving you. The version of you that believed in the dream of this marriage and relationship. The version of you who made compromises, kept trying, kept showing up. The version of you in the us that no longer exists. And all of the associated grief that shows up. And it shows up in waves. You have some days that are good and some days that are bad. It also shows up in multifaceted emotions, whether it's sadness, it can also be anger, relief, confusion, guilt, fear, overwhelm, and even moments of peace. And it's okay to feel all of that. You're not broken. You're in the middle of becoming the new you after significant and life-changing loss. Do you hear me? You are becoming the new you. That is sacred. That is sacred. So from this new space, how do you begin healing? Here are a few heart-centered steps you can take today. Not to rush the healing, but just to support yourself through every step of the way. So the first thing is honor the ending. Something significant came to an end. Create a small ritual to acknowledge what was. A lot of times we get so caught up into the feelings of anger and making the other person bad and wrong, which they absolutely might be, that we forget what we actually had that was good. So honor that and acknowledge it. Light a candle, write a goodbye letter, release it with love. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve it. The second thing you can do is reclaim your reflection. Ask, who am I now? Not as someone's ex, but as a whole woman rediscovering her voice, her desires, and her joy. Start with small daily choices that feel honest and authentic to who you are in this moment, not who you used to be. The next thing you want to do is tend to your nervous system. Divorce activates that fight, flight, or freeze response. So try some grounding techniques like deep breathing. One I use a lot is breathing in for 4, exhaling for 6, and repeating that process several times until my mind quiets and I steady. You can also try walks in nature. That's another go-to for me. That's my happy place, being outside. But you can also just put your hand over your heart in the moment and just simply say, all is working out for my good, or something else that resonates more. You pick your own affirmation. The next thing you want to do is speak the truth to safe people. Not everyone is safe, so build your tribe. Find a support system that lets you grieve without judgment. You need a soft place to land right now while you're healing. Find the spaces and places where you can be honest, transparent, and vulnerable. So whether it's with a therapist or a coach like me or a trusted friend, you don't have to do this alone. The next thing I want you to do is dream forward. You're allowed to dream again. A new dream from where you are right now. What is it that you want for your life going forward? And it's not just about finding new love, but it's about your life, your entire life. Let your healing be the foundation for a life that's more aligned, more authentic, more honest, more you right now. Love, the end of a marriage is not the end of you. I promise. I promise. It's a hard time, but it's not the end. It's not the end of your worth or your capacity to love or your right to receive love. It's the closing of one chapter and the beginning of a new one where you get to choose the story going forward. You don't have to rush your healing. You don't have to prove your strength by pretending you're okay when you're not. And you can be brokenhearted and healing at the same time. You can be strong and vulnerable at the same time. There's no right way to do this. You get to decide what this looks like. You get to decide what's best for you. And I'm right here to help if you need some additional support. So if this message resonated with you today, I'd love you to like and subscribe to stay with me for this new series on the many faces of grief. In our next video, we'll explore the grief we experience with career stagnation. And if you're ready to go deeper for more personalized support, I invite you to schedule a heart-to-heart discovery call with me. You don't have to walk this path alone. You can also download my free guide called Dear Heart, Let's Heal, a divorcee's guide to finding the peace and moving forward. All of my contact information is in the description of this video. So I really look forward to hearing from you. Remember, your next chapter is waiting. Just take the first step, and you don't have to do it alone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.